friends, nice to see you today. Today we're going to be focusing all of the makeup routine on one beauty buzzword, a really widely used word these days in makeup, and the word is serum. So you might use serums as part of your skincare, but that word is working its way into makeup products and has been for some time now. And as I was looking at my makeup yesterday, I realized just how many products I have with serum in the name. So multiple serum foundations, concealer, lots of serum primers, serum bronzers, blushes, lip products. It's a word that I think brands feel kind of links the worlds of makeup and skincare actually, and might make you think, well, oh, that's something I use in my skincare. Now maybe it's infused in my makeup and that makes it better for me. Or it just kind of gets your mind going on the thought that this is something that's going to be thin and light and just a makeup product that's on another level from the thick, heavy, makeup-y looking things. I actually looked up the definition of the word serum yesterday as it pertains to makeup, and it says a usually lightweight cosmetic preparation, especially for use on the face. And then it says specifically a typically water-based, often concentrated preparation that lacks lubricating and thickening agents. So key things I take from this, it's something lightweight, it's something concentrated, and it is not super thick. So what would your makeup look like if you really stuck to all serum products on your skin? That's what we're going to find out today. I might be screaming for a powder at the end of this, but I'm going to stick to things that incorporate that word and really focus on those textures. Are we seeing that really lightweight texture? Does it really fit the description of a serum? And does it make for a really effective makeup product? And I would love to hear in the comments section if there are any other beauty buzzwords that you feel are all over the place in makeup. A couple of them that I thought of as well are tint. So many things are being labeled tint right now, really hand in hand with serum, and then also butter. Lots of butter products from two key brands. I'm thinking Physicians Formula and NYX, but butter's out there too. Okay, so we're going to start with a serum primer. This one is from Essence. It's called the Hello Good Stuff Glow Serum Primer. This says it has 93% natural ingredients. It's got the little watermelon on there. And isn't this supposed to be mimicking like the Glow recipe stuff? Really thin. Smells good. I've had this on hand for a little while, but it seems to still be just fine. Adding a little extra moisture to my skin. To me, it feels thicker than just a skincare serum, which I definitely use some of those before my makeup. My niacinamide, my hyaluronic acid, vitamin C. I got a little caffeine serum that I put on my under eye area. This to me feels more like serum and light moisturizer mixed, but my skin is definitely dewy right now. And then that leads us into our foundation. And I had several I could have chosen from here. And by the way, most of this video is going to be drugstore stuff. But this is the Relove by Revolution Super Serum Foundation. And it's a hyaluronic acid foundation. F4 is my shade. And I have really come to enjoy this. I think the first time I used it, I don't know how impressed I really was by the staying power, but I've become increasingly impressed by how fresh this can look on my skin all day. And something you will notice with some serum products is they want to utilize that dropper, and that kind of reinforces the thought that, oh, this is so thin, it's just needing to come out of a dropper. And this is a very thin foundation. I just end up kind of swiping it off the side there. But I'm going to use a brush to blend this in because I think it's going to be a little better for my coverage. I'll use my Profusion buffing brush and just get this worked around on my skin. This is a medium coverage foundation. It's not maybe as light as you might think. Like, I don't know, when I heard the word super serum, I thought maybe this is going to be like a barely there sort of tint. It's actually got a really pretty coverage level and glow. But yeah, medium coverage, and it wears pretty well. See how pretty that's looking as I get that all blended in, but the dew factor is huge. Granted, we just freshly put it on. It hasn't even had a moment to sort of sink in. But I think serum foundation, I think that's a pretty good description of this one. Thin and light, but still not non-existent. If you've bought some things called skin tints and you felt like, okay, they just kind of disappear on my face, they don't cover anything, this is something that really does make my skin look super fresh and has enough coverage to really satisfy me. Good work, Relove, and that is coming in at just under $5. That's a crazy good deal for that product. I do have a serum concealer, the L'Oreal True Match brand. They actually have a radiant serum concealer, and what you'll notice these brands are doing, you know, they'll say it's a serum product, and then they'll also cite some sort of skincare ingredient that's involved. For example, this one's got the watermelon water and niacinamide. This one they're saying is a hyaluronic acid foundation, and this one contains hyaluronic acid and caffeine. So a lot of times that word serum is backed up with some actual ingredients. But I have this in the shade Light C1. I really like the applicator here. It's kind of like a triangular little paddle shape. And I'm going to just get some down on my under eye area. I know that this is a lighter coverage concealer than some of the big dogs, you know, like our e.l.f. Camo Concealer, or it's Big Sis from the L'Oreal brand, the Infallible. That just covers so much. This is going to be lighter, but I think it's going to mesh with our look really well. So what I'm first going to do is take a concealer brush. This is from Morphe. It's the M132. So it's that chunky little angled brush, and I'm just going to spread out what I applied there. Spread it over a little wider surface area. It's kind of coming over to the side of my nose and sweeping across the under eye. I've also got dots on the outer part of my under eye that I think somehow brighten and lift a little bit. Tapping in here. Yeah, she's thin. I'm doing this step, but it's practically wanting to blend in just with what I'm doing now, you know, and not really call for much extra. But I do like bringing in then a larger size brush. This is just the same brush I used for the foundation, and tap over it. And the under eyes look, wow. I mean, they look really good up close. It's been light products that have that element of hydration in them. This concealer is really good about not over drying, and it still has coverage, don't get me wrong. But think like the coverage of Maybelline Fit Me concealer, you know, like it's just on a little lighter end. And I can still see, as I turn my head, you know, I might see some darkness there in the cavern of my under eye. But surface of my skin, it's really hard to argue with how fresh that looks. I feel a little tacky to the touch, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna keep going with it and not put on powder and just stick with the serums. It's enough coverage to bring me to life, maybe not so much coverage that if you're analyzing my under eyes up close, you could still find some issues. Okay, but wow. Overall skin texture looks super fresh right now. And that brings us into a bronzer. And I have this bronzing serum from Physicians Formula. This is the Muru Muru Butter Bronzing Serum, and I love this product actually. I think it works really well. It's something where, yes, you could maybe work it in as a primer, or you could blend it into moisturizer, create your own kind of tinted moisturizer product, but I actually think it's very effective and very easy just as a liquid contour. So I'm giving myself a couple dots there, and the dropper does work. Not all droppers do. I think I just got everything out of it there. But the easiest stuff to blend in, and still has enough pigment to satisfy. So I'm pulling in a Sephora 56, and I'm just gonna dot that in around my hairline here. You can see what I'm working with, like it spreads. But I'm just easily stippling that in. And then right in here, just tap, tap, tap. See how you're getting a contour? Oh, I love this stuff. It does have the butter bronzer scent, but I'm not minding that. I will say I'm not used to getting to this point in the makeup routine and really feeling like, wow, there's been no powder involved at all. If I got any extra, I'm gonna let it come down here on my brush, but super radiant. And we still have more serum products to go. Now, things I don't have that are serums, most things that you look up in relation to brow are serums that are colorless and are for growth, and same with lashes. Although there is a mascara or two, there's one from Bare Minerals that incorporates the word serum, and I don't have it, but I would say that looks pretty good right now. There's just a radiance in my skin, undeniable. Now we're moving into blush. This is a gel serum blush from Revlon in their Illuminance line. A little squeeze tube blush. It says Superfood Complex Glycerin, again citing those ingredients that make it kind of skincare-like. This is the shade 110. They have some other more vibrant shades, but this is kind of like the dusty rose, and I knew that my overall look today was going to come off a little softer, so I just might stick with that. But this brand also calls their like tinted moisturizer. They're using double buzzwords there. This is a serum tint. I almost went with that today, but I thought it was important to mention this because this is just such an amazing deal, and I don't know if a lot of people still realize that that's available. I'm gonna spread it out on my finger and dab a little right on here. Like my bright pink is really bright. This one, a little softer. I hadn't used it in a bit, but we're getting our little blushiness there. That's a pretty rosy color. I'm gonna build it. I think I can go actually a little further with this shade than the others in this line. There's like a purpley berry, a coral, and a hot pink. Ooh, Nice. It's giving kind of like the cheek color you were born with type of flush. I'm just kind of spreading it between 2 fingers and working it across my cheeks, just so my brush doesn't have to go off of that one dot and sort of eat up the one tiny dot. That skin is just ultra radiant. I can see, like, if I hone in on my under eye, I can see where I'm, you know, not maybe the most satisfied with the under eye, but the look of the surface of my skin is so good. I think the ultra dry skin might love something like this to this point, because the layers have been really thin, but they've added some hydration, and then we haven't gone in with powder to do anything about that. As far as serum highlighters go, even just searching the internet for that term, or highlighter serum, serum highlighter, serum glow, a lot of things come back to more of a priming step than an actual highlighter on the skin step. I do own something from Danessa Myricks here called Yummy Skin Glow Serum, and it can be kind of a multitasker, and I thought I might take a hint of this because I know this could be very glowy. Just a little bit, and maybe dab it right on the tops of my cheeks. It's more of a texture thing than a shimmer thing, if you know what I mean. But I'm being sparing with it because I don't want to be too sticky when all is said and done. I'm just putting a little bit of that on the tops of my cheeks. If you wore this all over your skin as primer, you would look very juicy, hydrated, glowy. So this is my complexion. This is mainly what this video is about, but I do have a lip serum too. So I'm going to just finish my eyes with just doing brows and putting a mascara on and just keeping it very minimal like that. I don't have any eyeshadow serums, unfortunately. That's not a real widely produced item either, but I'll do those steps and I'll be back. Here we are. I've done my brows. I used my Benefit Precisely My brow pencil and the Precisely My gel wax, both in shade 4. And then I just did mascara. Today I used the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal. And this is always the case. When it's only mascara on, like, the lashes really get to be seen more. I think sometimes eyeshadow and liner can lessen the effect of a mascara. So I got that on top and a little bit of e.l.f. Lash Extender on my lower lashes, but yeah, still no powder on my face, but it's had 5 or so minutes, maybe more, as I've done those steps to just sit on my skin, and I feel a little less juicy than I did, but still just ultra skin-like. I can't get over how real this looks on my face. Like if I was trying to fool somebody and act like maybe I don't have makeup on, and that's not usually my game, you know, like I love makeup, I know I'm wearing makeup, I don't care if you know that I'm wearing makeup, I don't care if I look like I got some makeup on, you know, it's fine. That's what I'm doing here, that's what I love. But if I wanted to be sneaky, man, this is the kind of look I'd get. I can still see my little freckles through this, but I look radiant and I don't look like I've got a bunch of makeup on, even with literally 6 different layers of serum products. But we have a serum lip color. Buxom makes their collagen infused lip serum, and I have a couple of potentially workable shades today. I've got the Dolly Babe one, which seems like a soft sort of dusty rose, but then I'm thinking maybe we go a bit more colorful. I'm gonna use Plum Power. So these are super thin, but they do give you color. They do feel more treatment oriented than a Buxom gloss. You know, they're less sticky, they're thinner. I think they're valid in using the word serum, but this is gonna be the little pop on my face since I have not much going on elsewhere. It's kind of buildable. It has that sort of sweet minty scent. Man, I should be wearing those more. That is downright comfy on there. It really brought the whole face to life, I think. Balanced the eyes and the brows a little bit, but I mean, I just look like, yeah, summer skin, ready to go. But the disclaimer on all of this, there are a lot of things we can enjoy right after we put them on. Oh, now I'm feeling like a little bit of the plumping going on. It's feeling just a teeny bit stingy. Not a lot, but a little bit. But my point is, we can feel really good about a lot of things right after we put them on, but I'll have to keep an eye on how this is wearing later in the day. Keep in mind, I'll do a full face of makeup that does involve some powders, and there are a lot of times where I am wanting to add a little more powder, maybe right before I do something at the end of the day. So a powder touch-up may be warranted, but I'm not quite as sticky as I was immediately after doing the face steps, and I think it just looks really good. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this was enjoyable. Let me know what other beauty buzzwords you're just seeing everywhere, and you know, it's fun to tackle a full face with that in mind. Not that everyone has to. These could just be bits and pieces of someone's routine. I'm really feeling the plumping now. That is sneaky. I forgot how plumping these actually feel. It's not ultra stingy, but you can tell something's going on there in the lips. And at first it's just like comfy, thin, smooth, cooling. But I actually feel like my lips look plumper right now. Anyway, thanks friends. Hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.